Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Now, I've played this game completely to its completion, weirdly enough, on my Twitch channel, and I did as much voice acting as I could there, but I also thought it would be nice to make that a reality here as well, on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy my performances as best as I can do them. And that this playthrough is entertaining. I will admit right at the gate that this is a modded run, as I've already mentioned in the title of this game. I am running mods. The mods are there purely for the sake of expediency more than anything else, right? So it might seem like I'm destroying enemies very easily, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is the narrative. Like I said, I've already played this game through completely. I know how everything goes. I know what I have to do, and all sorts of triggering certain events here and there. But this is more for your entertainment and for me to flex my ability as a potential voice actor. And I will try my best to do the best that I can. So, as we begin, we meet with Konrad Voitvier. He already did his line. His lines are already voiced for him, so I will not be repeating any of that. But I will, of course, do those people who don't have voices, to the best of my ability, as well as the voice for my character as well. Now, the vocal tone I've chosen for this character is the mad male voice. So, might be a little taxing on my throat to see what I can do, but we'll see how it goes. So, let's get into this. So, this I'll read normally. It's an excellent place for contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down the depths into the vast temple, one of the lower decks. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity? To which I will reply, frankly, such excess can be tiring at times.
I believe there are those among us who share that sentiment. But such is our duty, is it not? To overcome base weaknesses and desires, so as to excel in our service to the God Emperor, the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Konrad Voitvier, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
The name is Nero. And so as to avoid any misunderstanding, I am a sanctioned psyker.
I am aware of that fact. It would have been unacceptable negligence to have overlooked such a detail when compiling your profile. Fate bestowed upon you powers of witchcraft, and a duty to use them for the good of the Imperium. Yours is truly an unenviable lot.
Also to remember, all the NPCs in the game will never refer to you by name. They either call you Von Valancius. Like, for example, you can see that Voitvier mentioned, like, my name is in the text. But at the same time, he will not say it out loud because everyone creates some weird-ass names, which the game is not programmed to voice out. So you will either be called Rogue Trader, Lord Captain, or Von Valancius. Never your name. So, yeah.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
Okay. Lord Captain? A strange title for Lady Theodora.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct.
Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor.
All right, give me a second. I think little Peckish gonna have the potato chips. Apologies.
Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium. But from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Tell me about the one whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
You say I'm one of the rogue traders' eyes. Is there another candidate?
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
I assume that he had some gold in mind when he decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Very well. Oh, we don't start with a staff? Really? Okay, we'll sort that out later.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
So yeah, that's the voice I've chosen. Of course, I cannot do that same voice for long. It's very taxing.
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
Lehman Russ tank.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
It is a turn-based RPG.
A genius at work. What? No.
Conrad, are you gonna attack or do something? Anything? Alright, well, finally you shoot something.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Tarantula sentry gun constructed with the blessings of the Adeptus Mechanicus used in the standard temporary construct in the Manufactorums of Kiyawagama. Violet servitors are in his motoring thing, motor force. A violet alloy, most of them to be handcrafted objects, symbols that are carved with a primitive tool. Grabbed on the surface. A black shard resembling a siren. Closely, you can discern a strange, barely perceptible glow inside the artifact. This is a Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ battle tank reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor, the first to breach the capital worlds in the pacification of Vortes? Chiton?
They will see. Oh, yes.
A massive golden
indeed.
amalgam interspersed with
They
sparkling
all
particles.
will see.
You don't remember the hospitals of display here at some point in the future? This is empty, isn't it? Best no doubt the surface shimmers. Is that a stone? The coral? Sitting under the water. Oh hum.
patience. My nerves are frayed.
Blocked off. We can go this way. I'm curious, what happens if we go this way? One thing I need to check though is... So if I go down the dogmatic line, right, what do I get from this? That's fine, group determination. Oh, that is so tempting though. I mean, actually, all I need is to get it to adherent. So we get purging by fire. Then we can go fully down the iconoclast line after that. I think that will be the play. Because I want purging by fire because that's a cool feature altogether, right? Because I'm playing a pyromancer, correct? In addition, all fire damage suffered by enemies increased by 1 for each rank of dogmatic. It's going to be just +2 damage because I'm going to be a level 2, rank 2 dogmatic character. Like, I personally feel iconoclast is the best way. Iconoclast is the best way to go down the line. I don't want to dip into heretical because you can lose party members, and I want to lose party members because then it's story stuff that you lose. I don't want to lose any of that. Like if I go full dogmatic, I have to treat all like non-compliant characters as hostile, and I don't want to do that. Right? You want to toe the line, like most rogue traders would do. The idea here is that I get 2 ranks of dogmatic and then the rest of the way iconoclast. And then, of course, might go back and forth depending on the situation. But we'll figure it out.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
There's the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice typed with tension. His face, half of which is covered by a synth skin, is twisted into a grimace of displeasure and disbelief.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
A tall, grey-haired woman pins him with her gaze, a cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Survey the room. Your first impression of Edelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of like parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. The nervously twitching fingers and the face twisted by a slight tic and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edeltrad, Theodora von Valancius's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edeltrad. Next to two of them, you see two more men. One is a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer.
The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Lady Theodora. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive.
Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
I believe I can use my personal abilities to ascertain whether there was sorcery on Ion 6, but it would require going down there to the service in person.
Ah, yes. Personal intervention. The surest way to leave yourself vulnerable. What say you, Edelthrad? Your brother in sorcery is not afraid to face danger. Unlike you.
Theodora absentmindedly touches one of her many augmetics.
A psycher's soul is a yawning gate for the ruinous powers. One could hardly trust a servant of the Imperium who is so eager to usher in corruption.
Edelthrad's gaze burns through you as he grits out every word through his teeth. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of your status to engage in petty feuds?
Even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely.
Edelthrad looks at you with suspicion.
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Theodora's tone renders him silent.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Edelthrad bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look.
So, why are you here?
Theodora's gaze follows him as he leaves, then she turns to you. Was it not you who sent for me?
You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspittlery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed.
Theodora scoffs.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
Actually, there's a distinct lack of information here. Like, how are we of blood? Where are we in blood? One of. Does that mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
Okay.
Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
If you satisfied with Edeltrad, then what sense is there having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. It says in your profile that you bear the brand of sorcery, albeit sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychos at my side. More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Edelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psycho could achieve great things indeed. However, psychos are fragile creatures, and as such I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Edelthrad. Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the Von Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Thank you for clarifying. May I ask questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
The incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Theodora laughs nonchalantly.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Ah, Abelard. The grey-haired officer gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval.
Now, enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
The voice actor changed there. Because I know what these are, but we're not going to choose this at all. Where is your ship headed?
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rycad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Theodora grimaces. She gives you a stern look and then shrugs. What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
What's an amusing attempt at defiance?
Let the blood flow! For now. No mercy for
Tried and
heretics.
tested tactics are the best ones.
My faith strengthens me. For the glory of the Imperium!
Out of my way!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
I serve the ruinous powers!
A predictable downfall.
What is the reason?
Death to non-believers!
Don't touch me. It's gonna hurt.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Stay vigilant. Die.
Oh, is just one guy left? Okay.
Let's see.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
Theodora waves her hand in a commanding gesture.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
Looks at the box in her hand, and all you can hear is lifeless static. What is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
The Seneschal is astonishingly calm for someone who just survived a sudden attack.
The casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer Prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
This with rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare attack the Lord Captain?
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Seneschal gives you a gloomy look.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly.
Theodora's anger causes the Seneschal to shrink slightly. What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Yes, Lord Captain.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
Kundra pointedly looks away from the Arch-Militant to you.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports the situation.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my Arch-Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Must provide immediate assistance to those who are still in the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's Sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
Theodora glances at you thoughtfully.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance. And if our goal is to bring Ethelthrat back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-militant. And taking into consideration Ethelthrat's psychic powers.
Then it's settled. Find Ethelthrat and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I can do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Nani? Something hits you with a hard, sharp crackle and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain.
Yeah.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing.
Why will look down at you?
Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
What were you two-faced scum? You're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Take a pause against Voidveer. You close your eyes, try to focus, and then you feel the touch of something sharp. Voidveer has somehow sensed a shift in the warp and delivered a preemptive strike. The blade flashes the dim light, drops of blood appear in your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous. Your head is spinning, and then quiet begins to flood your mind. More and more, sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts. Replace them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Get out, I am not your puppet. Voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step towards the gate, looming in the center of the antechamber. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two embers like irises. You look over the great cogitator. There's little chance that you will be able to discern anything about its design. Like any other sacred machine in the Imperium, this relic is a specialty of the machine cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The visual screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voice that filled your head after Void Fear wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depth of your mind. Examine the sentinel. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you were used to. Its skin covering it stitched together with a copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit will be much longer than that of the ordinary automatons. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Do I think they could be used as a weapon? Look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Sentinel's jaws clamp down around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The viscera of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass, Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way.
What lies beyond?
Let me know that my will and the true words of the document I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, bestow upon them their dynasty and great mission. To be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over the nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the roads of thorns through the pain to greatness. That pain or path?
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Silver Skull's creaking gradually turns into comprehensible words. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warden Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The Silver Skull goes silent. Its relay is clicking. Second after second passes, you realize that the Silver Skull will not answer you. Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating.
The Silver Skull twitches and makes a few clicks.
Unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber. Preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Run, fools, or fall!
Yeah, Abelard. My man.
Master! Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigtveer is a traitor. We parted ways on the officer's deck. He stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He's clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp.
Serving the gods of the war? Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Voigtveer, you void rat. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt.
Voigtveer openly admitted he's a mastermind behind this mutiny.
Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
He hands you a weapon. Laser and flak chest plate, medkit. Alright guys, I'm gonna go for a cigarette. I'll be right back. Whew. Sorry about that. I had to use the bathroom as well. Just give me a second, I'm having a sneakity snack. Getting a little hungry. No, like a shot.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics, instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet. You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the site. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
Looks like the silver skull floating next to you.
The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
He frowns. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Imperium. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Abelard does not bat an eye as he lists all the horrors that you are about to face. I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Navigator's Sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To all loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
Wave static suddenly erupts from the Silver Skull, and you can make out Theodora's voice through the noise.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Surrender to the dark powers! Grievous powers!
Okay, Abelard, I'm going to have you here. I will take a position there. And cover. Let's go.
Reduce to dust!
Another one is shattered.
Chaos guides me! Ah! Out of my way! One fewer target.
Seriously, I can't dash to him here? Target's too close. Really? Target is too far. Oh.
War is my muse.
Wait, we leveled up. Encompasses subconscious ability to react to things that concern him in a awareness allows the character to notice traps or legal. Yeah. Just in case we get in a melee. Okay.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
On the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Imperium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
Adira nods, yet her gaze is directed somewhere away from you.
And you, You, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too. Just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
Officers frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officers' deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officers' deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
Get a few clicks from the relay of the Solar Skull, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know what I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
The seer's words dredge up something dark and frightening from the depths of your memory. Your soul has been tainted by the influence of the warp sorcery, and it seems you will never be rid of it. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
You must see the navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Very well. Time to go save the mutant.
Here we go. Chaos guides me.
I completely forgot about this guy.
Let's get to it. Hold on.
What did he hit me with? Misfortune?
Reduced to dust.
The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have far too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily. The air is whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut. The two ordinary eyes, as well as the third one that sits in the center of his forehead.
I believe Master Spider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Your time is short.
The navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. The voice is coming from the box grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. You are in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward and back into the seat, and thrusts forward again as his bones crack and his skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slit burst, open, forming two hideous screaming mouth-like pits.
It came from beyond. His body is not his.
The detailed scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator, succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling. But then his fits stop abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson, the dark ooze from under his third eyelid, as if turned from a trickle to a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose. There is purplish swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength.
The words come out of the box as a labored rattle.
Contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
The spiders. Good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with the blood are streaming from under closed eyelids. And the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Psychic staff for now. May as well just use it. This way? No.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Your ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment it seems she is not going to stop. Will it continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you?
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
The young woman called Argenta lowers her weapon and scans your small party with intense gaze. Then she sets her sights on you. Nero Bor Valencius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the arch-enemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Argenta gives you another stern appraisal. You catch something strange in the dark depths of her eyes, some internal struggle or a wordless question. In the end, however, she nods.
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelstrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
I am no traitor, sister. You can be sure of that.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you. If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
Who are these people with you?
Overseer of Middle Deck AL-84, my lord. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments when we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors.
What is happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Okay.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
whispers are getting louder.
Let the blood flow.
I serve the ruinous powers! Gah!
Anything else?
Death to the weak!
I bring ruin.
Fucking owl.
Eradicated. Doubt is for the weak.
Really, Argenta?
A predictable downfall.
This is probably a really bad idea.
Death to non-believers! Chaos guides me! Out of my way! Chaos guides me! Ah! I serve the ruinous powers!
Was that you? Or...
Death to the weak!
Indeed. I will do my duty.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Ugh. Who's left? Oh!
Oh, wicked. Fate claims another one. They will see. Oh, yes. They all will see.
Okay, bell just rang. Back in a couple of minutes. Be right back. Sorry about that. No, my snacks.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Okay. Oh boy. Crap. What else have we here? Shotgun.
Patience? My nerves are frayed. There, done.
Load up again.
Curiosity sings in my veins. Genius triumphs. A tantalizing anomaly.
The roar of flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You are surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sound of footsteps. And then you see a figure walk out of the fire towards you. It is Theodora von Valencius.
Are you lost, my heir?
Her expression is calm, terrifyingly so for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of a power sword. The other is raised in an inviting gesture.
An apparition. A sorceress apparition.
Argenta goes still as a statue and slowly raises her weapon.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
Despite his commanding tone, Abelard does not sound confident. He's staring at the rogue trader and you notice a muscle in his cheek twitching. This is impossible.
I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible. For your worldview is but an iota of what a rogue trader knows and sees. But I can tell that you would like me to share that knowledge with you. That power over reality. I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide.
Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to your ears. The entity that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give an immediate answer. And that answer can be nothing other than acceptance.
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart. If you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises. Nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul.
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
Over the roaring flames you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams, muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them.
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel. What are we waiting for?
The Emperor will guide the righteous on their path. Thousands of needles pierce your consciousness, but you are powerless to stop you. You take a step forward, and the illusion breaks. A wave of excruciating pain crashes over you, and Theodora's voice fades into the firestorm. You hear the voices of your companions calling you from behind, the screams of weak, dying, and inescapable blaze. The blinding inferno, the harrowing pyre, and the all-consuming storm releases you as you step out, barely able to stay on your feet. The blood is pounding in your ears, drowning out the world around you. Your eyes, caked in soot and burnt eyelashes, refuse to open. Free from the flames, you take 2 more steps before collapsing to your knees. The rush of blood in your temples and the horrible pain all over your scorched body clouds your mind. Before suddenly retreating as if driven away by some mighty will, a new strength spreads throughout your veins, and despite the wounds, your body is once more ready for the trials and struggle. You open your eyes and see, aglow with the warm light before you, the Aquila, the sacred symbol of the Imperium. In the next moment, you are struck with another realization. The repulsive presence, the one that has plagued your mind since Voidfear wounded you, is gone. The fire seems to have burned the entity away without a trace.
Master, can you hear me? Oh, you're alive. Which is more than I was expecting after what you just did.
A familiar voice cuts through the din and pounding. Seneschal Abelard Viserion is leaning over you, peering into your face with a look of worry. He notices your gaze and breathes a sigh of relief.
Praise the Emperor. We passed through the flames. How can this be anything but a portent? For so it is said that the Emperor will bless the worthiest and most steadfast in their faith.
Argenta kneels next to you, and for the first time you see her eyes radiate pure, unclouded joy. Behind Argenta you see Idira Talas, doubled over in a fit of nausea. The rest of the people who are following you have withered away in the fire and continues to rage mere 2 steps away from you. The Emperor protects Seneschal.
Indeed he does. Huh. If I hadn't seen it myself, I never would have believed.
The tone renders Abelard motionless, then he quickly makes the holy sign of the Aquila himself.
What happened to Lady Theodora? Did she follow us? There was no Theodora, witch. There was an illusion, a temptation, a foul taint that tried to lead us astray. But he perceived its true nature.
Argenta stares straight ahead and then crosses her arms over her chest with reverence.
Is that right, Adepta Sanctimonious? What? We'll just pretend like we didn't see the Lord's Captain standing there in the fire? Abelard, you tell her.
Whatever it was, it matters no longer. Your conduct is bordering on madness, or holiness. A path opened behind you, where one moment there was fire, the next only smoldering embers remain. But what am I saying? My eyes must have deceived me. Too much smoke for my lungs. Truly, would you have received wounds like these if there had been no fire?
The wounds are merely a sign of a trial laudably passed. It is something to be proud of, the same as decorations or badges of honor.
Argenta herself sounds proud, even fervent. No element holds power over the righteous. Even if you are anticipating another wave of pain, it does not come. Your muscles feel strong and your limbs obey you without fail, and yet, deep inside, somewhere next to your heart and your stomach, you feel a certain tension akin to that of a taut string. You are at your limit. Be it adrenaline or the strength of your faith, it will not carry you much further.
Did my eyes deceive me? I could swear that I just witnessed you step out of a pillar of fire with the rest following in your wake.
Edelthar Bombalensis stares at you without trying to hide his astonishment and trepidation. It was the only way. We are here in response to your Vox call.
I did not expect you would make it here in time. After all, the mutiny caught the entire crew off guard, as they were scattered all over the ship. I must say, your wounds...
Look close at Edelthar. Edelthar does not seem to have changed since you first met, only at first glance. His face has taken on a strange hue. The skin at his temples appears scaled. His voice now has an uncanny screeching quality. These are not traces of fatigue and stress. The Psycho's body has begun to mutate as a consequence of contact with the warp. You're not in the best shape yourself, Edelthar.
Noticed the signs of my blessing, have you? Yes. The warp is taking its toll. But I'm still sane and able to hold my weapon. I'll fight for the Von Phalanxius bloodline to the end. And if the price is the eternal curse of mutation, so be it.
My faith will keep me upright with a weapon in my hand. That is all that matters.
Pray, forgive my insistence. I shall not be the one to doubt the faith of he who has passed the trial by fire.
Edelthar holds up his hands in a placating gesture.
I have gathered everyone who answered the Vox call and was able to hold a weapon. Yet I do not see the Lord Captain or her arch-militant in our midst. We are still receiving messages in her voice, but she is not responding to direct requests. I last saw Lady Theodora on the observation platform. When did you and she part ways?
It was at this very elevator, Master Edelthran. The Lord Captain, accompanied by the Arch-Militant, headed to her chambers to retrieve an item of particular import. After that, all we heard from her were Vox broadcasts.
This is troubling, and the timing is inopportune. I'm still receiving fragmentary reports from the breach. Kunrad Voigtveer was spotted there, and even what scant intelligence on his activities I have reminds me of descriptions of sorcerous rituals. If that traitor has resorted to witchcraft, we must stop him at once.
I should go to Theodora's chambers to find her.
A reasonable approach. Take your escort with you. You may be waylaid. Once you have found the Lord Captain, you must beg her to go to the bridge and lead the counterattack. The rogue trader's appearance is sure to fill the defenders' hearts with hope, however frightened or exhausted they may be. Until next we meet, may the Emperor bless your deeds. I shall see you on the field of battle.
Littleton salutes you with his weapon and turns to his retinue.
Look no further.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Did they add more voice actors or something? Maybe the initial part. I don't think there's going to be more there once we hit the main game. I mean, if they do, that's great. That's interesting. How do we get to those things?
What lies beyond?
Theodora von Valence's body is sprawled on the large blood-drenched desk. The Archmilitan's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is slumped against one of the bulkheads.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls.
Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her eyes lingering on the Archmilitan's body.
Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
Lord Captain. Who would even dare?
Abelard stunned.
Unless
Oh.
that rat, Voigtveer,
Abelard, stunned, takes a few steps towards and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body.
How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. The perpetrator's life was ended by an auto pistol shot. An extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye, a heap of blood-splattered parchment, and a scroll that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else, small shards of glass scattered on the floor. There are shards by the desk. It's difficult to say exactly what was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent, rather than completely transparent, as if they have been submerged in promethium. Like the papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scroll until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC, and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you, and sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter is addressed to Theodora von Valencius, signed with the seal of one of the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunt heretics, xenos, and other enemies of humanity.
I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft.
You cannot tell if Sargenta's remark is directed at the glass or the Idira herself. Now a pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter and shards of his skull. The safety of the Arch-Militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in a warp.
We had best be on our way.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything.
Idira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
It will be done.
traps within schemes.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Death to non-believers!
Gotta love friendly fire.
Guides me.
I'm a member.
What advice do you seek?
Back to Abelard. Psycho is not in the target line of sight, or the Psycho is in cover. All resist tests. The target. Pretty good, actually.
second sacrifice draws its gaze.
You are here. But where is the Lord Captain?
Bethard looks somewhat harrowed but is still in one piece. He glances at you, over his shoulder, clearly alarmed. Theodora is dead. I found her and the Archmillet in her study.
God Emperor, preserve us. The rogue traitor is dead. The ship has lost her Lord Captain, and the house its head. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the Warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
I forbid the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat.
Words worthy of a righteous soul.
Save the lofty words for later, will you? The navigator's ready to take the ship out of the warp if he gets some help from the bridge.
Then we have no right to bow our heads.
You can see Kunrad Voitvia clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them.
We are out of time.
Edelthard bites his knuckle, desperately thinking of you see a wave of ripple across the whites of Edelthard's eyes and they turn a sickly yellow. Ready your weapons. If we were to die this day, let us die with honor.
No. To die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to perish in the dark. No. It will not be like this. Not today. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell. Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death.
What? Theodora is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't.
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
of course.
Out of my way! Chaos guides me.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the...
At your beck and call.
Let's see.
Control shot.
The heir is dead. He sacrificed himself to save the entire dynasty. Rivor, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal. Living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry. We'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
You need to establish contact with Navigator's Sanctum. It's the only way of escaping the warp. The words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices, commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
He directs your attention upward to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. How did you people survive in here?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them. But it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue. Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report and... blast it all to the void! Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Please, hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
Well, whoever the voice actor for this one did a terrible job. Like, I thought it'd be a more gruffer voice. Hello, Lord Captain. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sulphurous currents, invisible to the mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. He has taken the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears. And this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp.
Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flows of fate? It matters not. Your footfalls are an echo of the sand pouring between the scales. Your hopes and faith are my mockery.
The vision lowers its head, its harrowing gaze boring into you. But for a moment, something changes. Theodora's expression, it looks almost like a shadow of fear. Avoid resist the temptation of the warp once. Whatever you are, it will not cloud my mind with a new illusion.
Resisting the inevitable means only that realization and submission will bring greater torment. There is no power that can hinder the flows of fate.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy. A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day
when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
Your head begins to spin and viscous liquid slither down your cheek. You blink. You are no longer looking at Theodora. It is the traitor Voigtveer, just as fluid and ephemeral as a previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seethes from his lips.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me.
The image is scattered by invisible sorcerous winds, and you see Idira, her eyes aglow with the same sinister flame.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal of the dynasty.
Seneschal? The Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision, it is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the Warrant of Trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The deed is done, Master. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. To hang the ancestral banners once again, and exact vengeance on the enemies of House von Valancius and humanity.
See, the voice acting stopped. Now we begin. Deep shadows of weariness can be seen on Abelard's face, though the old officer's eyes are keen. They rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. You had us waiting for a few hours there. Abelard offers a thin smile. But after witnessing your fearlessly rush into the fray on the deck, the only thing that surprises me is how long you stayed on your feet. Your strength only left you once and the fighting was all over. Such fortitude must be admirable in a Lord Captain. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will be also their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have been filled by deputies and by deputies, while others go unfulfilled entirely. Now the deck clans are deciding on who will take over the leaderless crew. How did we come to lose so many officers? It appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising given that their informant aboard was our own master of whispers. Abelard grimaces. What is on the agenda for this meeting? Reports of the condition of the ship and the crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I am still receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities on the system we are currently in. So prepare to bear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your lordship. Take this opportunity to take a good look at the officers who work 6 deck away from the bridge. They in turn will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. Have you succeeded in tracking down Voidveer? Abelard grits his teeth. No, Lord Captain. In all the commotion, his trail went cold. Our people are still on the hunt for him, and any mutineers who may still be lurking in the ship's many corridors. But frankly, I would not be surprised to hear that we are now 1 shuttle short. I'm afraid that it will be some time before he answers for all that he has wrought. I'm ready for the briefing. Summon the officers. With a gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Attention, officers. You have been granted an honor. The Lord Captain Nero von Valencius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps would you like to introduce those present, Abelard? Before we continue, I want to go have a cigarette. Be right back. Okay. Perhaps you should introduce those present, Abelard. As you wish, your lordship. Abelard points to a tall slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vigdis Suri Otter of the Toilerman line, our new Voxmaster. It is an honor to serve, your lordship. Voxmaster offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you will have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I'm responsible for receiving, processing, and setting all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Revor, the master helmsman. He steers our ship along the set course by the Lord Captain, along the course set by the Lord Captain, and monitors the void around us to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin, dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face gives a sullen nod. Hey, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our high factotum Janus Downrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material of well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. Master of Ordnance, who is responsible for the artillery aboard. Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent extinguished fires on the ship. And lastly, Drive Master and the servant of the Omnifier. The Drives Master, servant of the Omnisire. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Masters of Ordnance betrays his nervousness. The Drive Master's offers a salute resembling a dance, involving complicated manipulation of all tech priests' mechadendrites. So that's everyone. Unfortunately, our choir master, the esteemed Zachary Weiss, head of the astropath section, is unable to join us. He is in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Weiss has been in trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the Von Valencia's protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Kunrad Voigtvir's treachery. I will deliver a report to your lordship on the astropath's progress as soon as it is possible to do so. It is equally regrettable that 2 or more individuals worthy of mention could not join us at the briefing. Master at Arms and Confessor Adalbert. Wow. The eminent Adalbert must see to the funeral services being held for the fallen officers, of whom there were too many for him to take leave from the chapel. And Mr. Sarbeck, who has replaced her late predecessor as our Master at Arms, is currently leading the search for any surviving agents of Voidvir. All others present are adjutants, secretaries, and deputies. They are here to make a recording of the proceedings. I wish to hear the Infernus Master's report. Yes, Lord Captain. I can report that all fires across the decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties have been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factotum. The postmaster after his previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. Abelard remarks in a low voice that is pitched for yo-yos only. The lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. High Factotum, what have you to report? We are toiling day and night to fulfill a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given to the tech priest's hands for attention, and that all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately this number is not confined to the scum of the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We will be able to take up losses on the nearest planet, Rykard Minoris. However, the whole system, in fact, belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. The negotiations at this level are a matter for the rogue trader. Especially true given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later. And the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets. Rumbles Abelard, frowning. Drives Master, I will hear from you now. A voice distorted by Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, thank the Omnisire, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. With great sorrow, I must also report that the Engineer Prime, Overseer, and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by little flesh that remained part of him, a most terrible loss. There is no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement as soon as possible. I see. Thank you. The tech priest bows her head. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, without the Engineer Prime and Navigator who fell in battle. We have no way out of the system. If you were to try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what will happen first. A warp drive being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. Ooh. Your Lordship. Your Lordship, if you allow me to interject. When we arrived in the system, my crew found its standard protocols and conducted a count of all available communication channels in the region. One of them was a Navis Nobilite system. The station maintains complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in this very same system is an incredible stroke of luck. A true blessing from the God Emperor. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less shitty news, we can go around and round the system till our heads are swimming. As long as the Promethium and supplies last, and if any thick-ass crock-shit lowlife comes sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out, so don't you worry on that score. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? The Master of Ordnance gives you a gloomy look. No, my job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire where I'm told. But just ask anyone. We've got no able crew, no Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply. It is as if the dam has burst inside and his pent-up emotions are rushing out of him. The ship's in ruins. Every second officer is dead. Now we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to void knows where. Silence! The bridge's magnificent glass pane seemed to tremble on the force of Abelard's roar. Enforcers, seize this mutineer! If only one officer or the whole lot has fallen to pieces, that's not bad at all, your lordship. I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with the Master of Ordnance? The former Master of Ordnance, I should say, besides find a replacement that as well. But we already have one lined up. Execute him. Abelard nods stiffly. Consider it done. Take him away. The brittle laughter of the Master of Ordnance reverberates from the bridge as he's led up to his fate. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members and we require a new Engineer Prime and Navigator. Is this all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain. But bear in mind that this is not the end of our trials. The ship's systems must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. We will never reach Footfall without first solving these 3 immediate problems. I have compelled to draw your attention to another problem. It is on the lesser scale than anything previously mentioned, but is nonetheless significant. Our most ancient archaeotech, the ancient implantation throne damaged during the riot, is at risk of destruction. I dare not take up any more of your valuable time, so please, if possible, attend the Sector Bionica, where the Drive Master will tell you of the tragedy. What can you tell me about the system we currently find ourselves? I see to Vox Master on this point, Mr. Stoliman. We are in the Rykord star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your lordship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies of the system, and our attempts to send box messages have produced confounding results. The Navis Nobilite station has simply failed to answer. It seems to be maintaining a total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from a prison planetoid in the system, and Rykord Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. What is most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate an ongoing hostilities on the planet. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, a tech priest, and a new crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Navis Nobilite station and find out what in the void is going on. Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. Disable officer salutes you as one. Your Lordship, there is one other thing. A confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora, Abelard hesitates, your eternally esteemed predecessor, brought the ship here to the system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to tell a rogue trader to do anything? And I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Coronis Expanse. I came across a strange letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume? Quite right. XC. Xavier Calcazar. Lady Theodora was a seeker of the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrichs von Kellox. Interrogator, you understand? All I know is that he is somewhere in this system, and that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall in the Verbundes system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult. Difficult indeed, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities of the system, neither Navis Nobilite or the Governor of Recomendos, may know something. That is all of it, Your Lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon, you must take up the reins of the Von Valencia's protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look as you're trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and seems he's about to offer some words of encouragement. Idira, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Idira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insists on seeing the rogue trader. I judge that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For a brief moment, the Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you for a personal request, but I can wait. Speak with me when you have time, rogue trader. Idira's glazed eyes rove over those assembled. One word bursts from her lips. Daybreak. Idira, come to your senses. Damn it! Idira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your Lordship, there's the thing I was trying to see. Here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future, and it hit me so hard. My head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make it out, and I can't make out what it is no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can tell us anything else, Mistress Talas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it. All right? Lord Captain, if you want me to take a closer look into your future and find me on the bridge, and we can talk. Lady Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you would benefit from them as well. The Psycho's bitten lips stretched into a wry smile. Well, there's nothing else of value to report. I declare this briefing and conclude it. It's time to get to work. Ooh! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me for now. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the performances. I tried my best. And catch you guys all later, because we will be coming back to this. I want to take a break for a bit. Catch you guys all then. So from me to you guys until then. Peace out.